right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back into another edition of the Hillside Club. I'm Rob Cardini, joined alongside James Martin III. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I know we sure did, and we'll get right into that. But just remember, no hot takes, just real ones. The real reason we had a great weekend was that the New York Knicks just swept a team. Yes, that is a real statement that Knicks fans can say now, and I'll let James get into it more, but because he's a true diehard Knicks fan, rarely misses a Knicks game. But as I was watching that barrage of three-pointers from the Knicks on Sunday, all I kept thinking about was just how far this Knicks team has come. James, take it away.
Yeah, I was watching games where guys like Ron Baker, Lance Thomas, Andre Bagnani, the list goes on, Damian Johnson, Alonzo Trier, and the Knicks somehow still selling out MSG, but we're putting a product out there that the fans could not get behind. And I mean, I'm just so proud of this Knicks team, man. Down the stretch of the year, it kind of got a little scary. We didn't know what we were going to get out of them. You know, they were at times a little inconsistent, but what they have put on, the performance they have put on in these last 7 games, it's a statement. They swept the team for the first time since 1999. They go back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since the late 90s, 89 and 99 season. Jalen Brunson, he scored 30-plus points in multiple games down the stretch. He's shown that he is better than the guys that they've been comparing him all week in Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey in this series. Guys like OG Anunoby go down, the team doesn't even miss a beat. They play even harder, it feels like. I mean, I am just so incredibly proud of this Knicks team, man. And I got to give it out to Jalen Brunson. He didn't just save the Knicks. He saved the whole culture of the New York Knicks, right? The fan base was searching for an answer. When they made that signing, I believe it was 5 years ago, and, you know, the whole New York sports media kind of erupted, like, what type of signing is this? He has done nothing but prove the haters and the doubters wrong. And for them to build this team, right? Shout out Leon Rose, just an amazing job. You know, Mikal Bridges gets a lot of flack down in the season. You know, 5 picks for this guy. He's scoring 0 points in the Atlanta series. What a turnaround for him. Karl Anthony Towns now being the focal point of the offense. It has just been night and day for the Knicks. You got guys like Landry Shamet, Deuce McBride, Jordan Clarkson, who are just becoming almost spark plugs for the New York Knicks. It has been truly amazing to watch, and I gotta say it, the Knicks aren't cute anymore. They're looking like a legitimate contender. This is something that I have never been able to say in my life, and even down the stretch of these last 2 seasons, I've never said the Knicks are a contender, but with the way they are playing right now, they're playing at a speed of a team like the Thunder and the Spurs, where they've got playmakers all around the floor, and they can make it happen, man. What a game yesterday that was. I really, that first quarter, that NBA record.
Insane.
Flame-throwing. Deuce McBride, 5 or 6 3-pointers in the first quarter. Jalen Brunson catching flame. Cat catching flame. Everyone on the floor was just amazing. It's like, even down the stretch of the game in the second half, when they're up 30 points, they're still playing harder than the other team. I really have, I get speechless when I'm watching these last few games, man. It was unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
No, I mean, I almost feel like, obviously last year they made the conference finals, but watching that game yesterday, it felt similar to how I felt when the Yankees made the World Series in 2024, when Soto hit that home run, and it was like, wow, they're actually about to go to the World Series. Because, you know, we're 22 years old. James is about to turn 23 soon, but like, we haven't experienced, you know, a lot of our teams actually winning something meaningful that we can actually remember.
Yeah.
James is a Giants fan. I'm sure he briefly remembers, you know, their Super Bowls, but not like at this age where you can actually vividly remember stuff. Like, we don't have good memories of the Knicks. The Yankees every year coming up short. So it was just kind of like that same feeling of like, wow, like, this is actually happening. Even last year when they made the conference finals, there wasn't as much confidence in the team, but now it's like, this team can go win an NBA title, and it's just like so special to watch. And like you said, I mean, Jalen Brunson, he just completely saved this franchise as a whole. I mean, he has scored 30 plus and I think 47% of his playoff games with the Knicks. Like, this is stuff you dream of as a fan from your number one. Like, this is stuff that other guys, it would be on, the front page of every magazine. It would be the opening headline of every sports show. Like, obviously, like if a guy like LeBron was doing this or Wemby or Ant, like Brunson is doing this stuff. Like, he's really about that when it comes to playoff time. I mean, it's just truly insane. And like you said, Cat's been firing on all cylinders. He's been raking up the assists. I think this is the most assists he's ever had in a playoff run per game in his career. And then another thing I wanted to touch on that I think might be the most important thing for the Knicks right now is the amount of rest they're about to get. And that it's going to be at least a week before they play another game for the Eastern Conference Finals. OG Anunoby is going to get a lot of rest. And their minutes as a whole have been down anyway. I saw someone tweeted that Knicks playoff minutes in semifinals, last year's 6-game Boston series versus the Philadelphia sweep, which obviously the sweep does impact it. But you're looking at 116 less minutes for Bridges, 160 less minutes for Anunoby, 90 less minutes for Brunson, 80 less minutes for Hart, 109 minutes less for Cat. So these guys are going to be well rested. They're going to be ready for whoever wins that series between Detroit and Cleveland. But what a time to be a Knicks fan.
Yeah, man. I saw a stat, the largest point differential during a 7-game win streak in the NBA playoffs in NBA history. Number one on that list now are the New York Knicks at 185, plus 185. The second team on that list is all the way down at 133, and that was the 1985 Lakers. And the top 6 teams on this list, it's the 85 Lakers, 2017 Cavs, 2010 Magic, 2026 Thunder, which they would probably find themselves in the finals again, and the 86 Celtics. The only 2 teams on that list that have not gone to the finals in that respective year are the Thunder and the Knicks, who are still playing in the playoffs right now. There's a lot of stats like that out there that involve teams from the past that the Knicks have actually jumped in that stat, and those same teams ended up making the finals or winning the championship. So it's all there. I mean, it looks like they're clicking when it matters most. And man, Madison Square Garden, it feels alive again. Madison Square Garden West and Xfinity over there was alive. It was amazing. Knicks fans take over that arena. I mean, the Knicks finally have an identity, something that I feel like Knicks fans have been begging for since the 90s, and it's toughness, clutch shot making, and it seems like zero fear. There's zero fear right now in the way they play. You've got guys all the way down to the 16th guy on the bench. They come out there and they play with a heart that you only see in those contending teams, right? Like, even when the bench mob goes in the game, they're playing hard. It is truly unbelievable to watch. And I mean, Mike Brown, there was a lot of questions down the stretch, but I got to take it back. 2 weeks ago, I was really, really constructive of how they were coaching in that Atlanta series. I take it all back. He made his adjustments. This is his first year with this team. I guess he's trying to understand his players as well. And it's not easy to understand, find where guys want to be, what the best spot on the floor is for them, but he figured it out. And now we got to sit back and we watch this Cavs and Detroit series. And I heard Mike Breen talk about it yesterday on the broadcast. There's a sweet spot there. Do you want all of that rest, right? Because we got guys like OG Anunoby who's out, and he needs that rest for his hamstring. But is there a spot where it gets to a point where you're sitting for too long, right? Where if this series goes 7 for the Pistons and the Cavs, the Knicks are not playing for a week and a half, whatever it is. Are they out for too long? Are they off the floor for too long? And that can be a factor, especially if you're playing a Detroit team on the road out there in Detroit. You're going into a hostile environment. Can be tough. Having played in 10 days, are you going to be the same, quickness, the same speed, the same fire that you had when you were in Philadelphia? Who knows? So I think that's something to look at.
Yeah.
Other than that, though,
I was going to say, I don't think they're going to get a week off.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know when the Eastern Conference Finals will start, but I don't think the Cavs series goes 7 games. I think the Pistons win in 5. I think the Pistons win the next 2 games. I think the Cavs were bound to get a game at home. I think so. They play tonight is game 4.
4, yeah.
I think the Pistons bounce back, get a win, and then they just close it out at home. I don't know. I just don't like the Cavs got some vintage Harden down the stretch of last game. They really did.
Which was about time, though.
Yeah, definitely about time.
Yeah.
But what we've seen, the rest of the makeup of the Cavs this postseason has just been a lot of up and down play. And I think the Pistons, I think they just win the next 2 games, and the Knicks will be playing sooner than a week and a half.
Yeah, I also like the Cavs have not won an away playoff game all playoffs. So, which is why they went 7 with the Raptors.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I think the Pistons are the far better team, up and down, really. They have a deeper team, and it's also JB Bickerstaff against his old club that let him go. So there's a little fire there for that Pistons team. But for the Cavs moving forward, I'm lost. I'm lost. I talked to my buddy who's a big Cavs fan over the weekend. He doesn't understand what's going on. He doesn't know, what the deal is moving forward. Harden deal, Donovan Mitchell. Is he going to get dealt? There's talks with, Giannis and the Bucks, and who knows? It feels like this team, this core that they've had fell very flat, and it's, as a Cavs fan, you got to be not annoyed, but confused with, their progress. You let go your homegrown player in Darius Garland to bring in James Harden, who's having an absolute stinker of a playoffs. And I don't know if you saw his post-game interview. I think it was with Lisa Salters the other night.
Yeah.
When he was like, she asked him about all the noise and, how are you playing through it? And he's like, what noise? Harden, let's not sit here and act like there hasn't been noise. You've been piss poor. As clear as that. He's had more turnovers in this playoffs than field goals made.
Yeah.
It's just like this. It's
nasty.
Very bad. It's very bad. But, enough of that. The Knicks, Karl-Anthony Towns, career high in assist numbers in this stretch in the postseason. His numbers have been out of the roof. I had another guy who I had to give a shout out to because he's just been playing with that fire that I essentially needed from him from the jump of the season. We could have been the number 1 seed in the East if we got that out of him. But again, not his fault. New coaching staff. They put him in a different spot. They had him going downhill more. Now you see he's a focal point of the offense. It's been amazing. The Knicks, unreal, man. Unreal. A great series. Great sweep. City of Philadelphia, kick rocks. That's all I got.
Yeah, what he said. Another good series right now is only series that even... the Cavs series does feel competitive, but I think the only series that feels truly, truly competitive is the Spurs-Timberwolves series. Yep. And that just got tied up at 2 last night after Wemby got ejected, which was... that was one of the more wild moves I've seen from an NBA player in a while. I know it's Wemby, and like everybody kind of just like holds him to a high standard, and we kind of cherish what he does for the game of basketball, but the way he winded up with his elbow and just threw it at Naz Reid, I think Dylan Harper's reaction was honestly all of us. The way he was just like looking in awe of what Wemby did, and Timberwolves locked in. It looked like the Spurs were about to get a steal of a win without Wemby on the court, but Timberwolves locked in down the stretch, and they tied it up at 2. I still think the Spurs get it done, but I don't know. Listen.
Dylan Harper, his reaction to that that elbow from Wemby, it looked like somebody in his family got arrested, the way he was looking. He was wide-eyed. But, the Spurs without Wemby go from, terrifying to kind of completely normal. And if the Timberwolves are more healthy, it could be dangerous. I think the longer this series goes on, the more competitive it will get. Like, Ant only gets more healthy each day. Each night he gets to go to sleep and wake up and rehab. He's getting healthier and healthier. You see it each game. He's moving a little quicker and quicker. They go back to San Antonio. The Spurs better be on their A game, because if they're able to steal that game, I don't know, man.
I saw they're favored by like 8.5 points coming back home.
Yeah,
because Wemby got no further discipline.
Yeah,
so it makes sense. It's a little. Like he's been getting talked about now because of what he's done, but unsung hero, Terrence Shannon Jr. for the Timberwolves, he's been cooking, man.
Been great. And we knew he had this in him. Like every player's time comes, once they've prove themselves to their coaching staff, but we knew he had it in him. He is a talent. The way he runs up the court, he is so ridiculously fast, and then he can shoot, gets downhill. Again, the spark plugs in the playoffs make the difference. They really do. Again, you watch it with the Knicks, you watch it with the Pistons, you watch it with the Thunder. I mean, what was the guy, Mitchell, who had 20 points the other night, 20 plus points. Like, these guys are the difference makers, and it starts at the top with the leadership on that team, and it spreads. It's how you win games.
Yeah, no.
Right? It's unreal.
Speaking of the Thunder, they're up 3-0, and they're looking to close out the sweep themselves tonight. And that series is just, honestly, it's been a mess. If I could describe that series, it's just been a mess. Complete mess. It's been all about the refs so far, really. I feel like the Lakers, I just feel, have just become so consumed by the whole refereeing, where it's just kind of taking them off their game. And no doubt the refs do favor Oklahoma City. And it's not just about free throw differential. It's also just about how they let the Thunder play defense. But I feel like it's just thrown off the Lakers too much, and they're allowing it to just consume them. The reality is, the past 2 games they've had a lead at halftime. They became the first team to have back-to-back playoff games with a lead at half and lose by a combined 40-plus points. Like, that's not okay. So don't get me wrong, the refs have been terrible and always are going to favor OKC for, whatever reason, and the way they play is unethical. It sucks to watch, but the Lakers, I just feel like they're letting it too far. I mean, to have a post-game huddle with the referees was some of the most sorry shit I've ever seen in my life watching basketball. Like, are you serious? Like, yeah. I don't know.
They've kind of let the whistle become their entire personality in a very huge series, I guess, for their season. Like, this is their season on the line. Now they're down 3-0. So sloppy basketball in the playoffs, it travels poorly, and that's kind of what they play in the second half of these games. It seems like they're just unserious. And then on the flip side, OKC, in my opinion, might just be the least aesthetically pleasing great team in the NBA history. Like, watching them play basketball, it's great. Yeah, they hit threes, they're aggressive, they move fast, and they get stops on one side of the floor. But they're just, I don't like the style of basketball. I'm not a big fan of it. However, the Lakers, like you said, they become the first team to lose back-to-back playoff games.
With a lead at half, and then lose by a combined 40-plus.
Yeah, that's gross.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Doesn't seem like Lakers in 5 is happening. I mean, I had no faith in them from the start. So I know everyone online was talking about, hey, if LeBron just gets one game on the Thunder, like, it's a great feat for his legacy, or he's the GOAT, or don't let him get one game on the Thunder. Like, I feel like the goalposts get moved all the time for LeBron.
He played brutal in the third quarter the other night. Third quarter, it was not good. He's been playing bad in the second half of these games. You can just call it what it is. It's not really the end of the world, but
I see. My thing is, I want to hear from the true Laker fans. We got to get a call-in segment very soon here. A lot of people are asking for it. We will try to, but I need to hear from the true Laker fans, not the LeBron fans, because I know there's a very huge contrast between Laker fans and LeBron fans, right? Because LeBron fans travel wherever he goes, but the Laker fans are not happy with the product that is on the floor right now with the Lakers. I mean, I know LeBron fans have thrown in the white towel. No Luka, no Reeves. Reeves isn't playing great. But the Laker fans, like, moving forward, the Lakers have always been competitive. I think there was maybe a 2 or 3 year stretch post-Kobe that they were not competitive. But my whole life, and it seems like throughout history, they've always been competitive. And I know they've got Luka. Not a lot of Laker fans believe in him like that. And a lot of Laker fans don't want LeBron on the team anymore. Don't know what's going to happen with him in the offseason. I think their season ends tonight with a sweep, another sweep under LeBron's legacy. I don't know, man. I wish I could hear from how they feel. Like, that's because they get overshadowed. They get overshadowed by LeBron fans all over the nation. So they have been good shooting games, but they wasted it because of turnovers down the stretch of this series. And then, like the Thunder do, and they always have done, they thrive in chaos and in transition, and that's the type of basketball they play.
Yeah. I saw a stat that that said every team that has swept LeBron has gone on to win the finals. I mean, well, twice it happened in the finals. He got swept. And then 2023 Western Conference Finals versus the Nuggets, they won 4-0 and then won the chip. So
Yeah, we'll see what happens. That Nuggets trip is sus because they never even faced a solid team.
Well,
But,
no, that's valid. I'm just thinking interesting stat that every team, it's been they go on to win it all or win it all in the actual finals itself. But it kind of because you brought up that stat about the Knicks point differential and how every team has gone on to make the finals, and that leaves the Thunder and the Knicks, and now this is like another trend where the Thunder do this.
These trends, I mean, they do hit. They hit all the time, just like that Week 6 AP poll we talked about before.
Everyone.
Yep. Like, it's all leading up there. All roads lead to a Knicks Thunder finals right now, and that seems like that would be the best product. Or a Knicks Spurs will be also great, but we'll see what happens. I really want to see Spurs Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. I don't want to. I mean, I love Ant.
Yeah,
but they're not healthy. The Timberwolves are just not healthy. Dosumo's playing hurt. Ant's playing hurt. Hyperextended his leg 2 weeks ago, and he's playing basketball, which is kind of insane.
But the Spurs have just had their number. If there's any team that has had the Thunder's number, it's been the Spurs. Wemby seems to hate Chet, so we get to see that in the Western Conference Finals. No, I agree. I think that'd be the best matchup, and I think Knicks Thunder would be the best championship matchup. I mean, the Knicks, it really doesn't matter who they play. It's going to be insane. Just the fact that if they can be in the finals, it'll be absolutely absurd. Another sweep, though, which I called last week. I told you guys the Hurricanes would sweep the Flyers. The Flyers suck. They suck. Okay, it's as simple as that. I mean,
City of Philadelphia. What's going on?
Yeah, it's been a rough week for Philadelphia. Philadelphia sports kind of in shambles right now. But the Flyers wanted to hang up a banner after a first round series win. That was really cool. The other team in Pennsylvania hangs up banners for Stanley Cups, but
did they actually?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like their fans got on their high horse about how they won, the first round, and I said it. They were going to lose, and some of the games actually didn't play bad. Even the overtime goal that they lost to the other night was kind of like but Hurricanes sweep. And you brought up how are the Knicks going to have too much time off? The Hurricanes might not play a game for like 2 weeks after this sweep. Like it is going to be such a long time, and I feel like in hockey, like that is almost worse than basketball. I know obviously basketball shooting, you want to stay in rhythm, but like just the flow of the game in hockey, I don't know. I think it might hurt the Hurricanes more than help them. And it's happened with them before where they had a long break and it kind of hurt them, but we'll see because the team they're about to face is going to be really hot. So they're going to be the Canadians or the Sabres, and both of those teams are playing really good hockey. And I was going to say, I think the Canadians have the best shot of breaking the streak of a Canadian team not winning the Stanley Cup. And I know, obviously, the Oilers, have been in the finals, past 2 years, went to a Game 7, but I never really trusted them to actually get the job done. I feel like the Canadians can actually get it done.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing some great hockey right now. But that Carolina series, it kind of fell over before it started, really. Like Rob called it. But Flyers offense completely disappeared from the 2 games that I watched. And it seemed like the Hurricanes were suffocating them. Just absolutely suffocating them. Philly, pretty terrible week for them. I saw that crazy Philly fan, he was comparing the Flyers to the Sixers, the home games, and how it was a stark difference. But we'll get into that later on in the episode. Another series, what was it? The Wild and the Canucks.
Avalanche. Okay. Colorado.
Okay. Yeah. Seems like it's a good series, right?
It's been just an electric factory of a series, just scoring all over the place. The Wild finally got a game at home. They make it a series 2-1 now, see if they can get another win at home and tie it up before they head back to Colorado. But as I watch those games watch that game in the series and I watch the Wild play hockey, I just kind of think to myself, in what world did the Canucks think trading Quinn Hughes was a good idea? Because every time he touches the puck, it's like, in my opinion, it's the closest thing to watching Cale Makar skate with the puck on the Avalanche. And he's known as probably one of the best defensemen in the National Hockey League. But then you watch Quinn Hughes with the puck, and it's like he is just so electric, always finding open ice, so fast, such a quick burst, and has a lethal shot too. And I don't know, for a franchise to trade a guy like that you can build around for a long time just seems so absurd to me. But they did. They felt like that was in the best interest of the of the team. So now they have to live with that decision as he's making noise in the playoffs and they're at home watching him. But yeah, that's been the NHL. NHL playoffs have still been really good. But let's get into our Clubhouse Callout segment. We had a couple of callouts this week. One of them being Lucas Granito asking us for our PGA Championship picks. PGA Championship is this week. It's going to be played at Aronimink Golf Club outside of Philly.
Delaware County, Delco.
Yeah, it's truly amazing how they have some of the nicest golf courses right outside of Philly itself. But golf courses around it seem to be really good. James, I'll let you kick this one off.
I'm going to keep it very simple here. Scottie Scheffler is running it back. He is running it back. And when he does putt, just average. We get average putting from Scottie. His approach is on. He is the best player in the world. He's that good. I don't know. He hasn't had his win yet, but I feel like he took a week off, I believe, this week too, leading up to this tournament, which is, I feel like that's the smartest prep possible for him. But come on, man. I feel like this is the week. This is when he gets back there on the top of the game, and he's that guy. I feel like this is one of those courses that shape up to be, I guess, perfect for his game. So I think he runs it back. I don't see anybody else doing so, but golf is golf. Anything can happen. But I just wanted to keep it simple out there. Scottie's consistency, he's been playing some pretty good golf. He hasn't had that win yet, but I think this is the week he does it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Sucks that we're gonna have the same pick, but I'm going with Scottie too. I just think that he's due for a win. I think he's due for a complete week of golf. We haven't really seen that from Scottie since he won his first event of the year. It's either been too late of a push or maybe starting off well and then not finishing the tournament. More so of the first one, where being the first couple of days he just hasn't played as well, and then Saturday and Sunday he's been the best golfer, but he's just been a little too far behind the other guys. But I think, like James said, taking that week off and just preparing for this tournament, I think is probably the best thing that Scottie could have done. And I think he will be ready to go this week. And I think he defends his title at the PGA Championship, and I think he goes back-to-back there. Now, if I had to give a dark horse pick, I'm going to go with Keegan Bradley. Keegan Bradley has been playing good golf for a long time, and not just good golf, but like elite level golf. Seems like he's always in the mix. And he's won at this golf course before, 2018 BMW Championship. He won the event there. So he has experience at this course. I think, in these major championships, if you have experience at the course, that goes a long way. And, it helps you understand, where to take and give. And I like that from Keegan. So I'm going to take Keegan as a dark horse pick. But yeah, I'm still rocking with Scottie as my main pick this week.
That was what was that, 2018 BMW Championship that Keegan had won. So yeah, that makes sense. Course history always matters, and I do think they say that Aronimink rewards elite iron plays. What I'm seeing online and what a lot of people are talking about. So again, if we get that out of Scottie and his putting is there again, like the putting, every now and then it's inconsistent with Scottie, and that sometimes can kill a round for him, but. We get that out of Scottie. I think that this weekend is his. Though I saw some of these prices though at Aronimink for the PGA Championship this weekend. So looking at alcohol beverages, stark difference from what you see when you're at the Masters. But Michelob Ultra, 16-ounce can, $15. Every beer on here is over $15, I believe. Michelob Ultra, 25 ounces, $17.50. High Noons, $16.50 for the 12-ounce cans. I'm just putting that out there. $15 for a 16-ounce Bud Light. I mean, I guess they can do it because these places, the people will pay. You want a beer, you want a non-alcoholic beverage, you will pay. But my goodness, just like everyone compares like the Masters prices to things. I know that Atlanta Falcons have really great prices over there at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. But geez, man, I'm looking at this list and it's just.
It's. I mean, honestly, I can't even act like I'm surprised. It's just like every other sporting event now these days. You go to a game and, you're spending probably between tickets and food and parking, whatever you did or how you traveled there, it's probably at least a $250 excursion.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess maybe not. I mean, you look at the Mets; they got tickets going for $5 right now because they suck so much. So maybe you could get under, $100 going to there. But traveling to Citi Field's not that easy. So I don't know. I'm not even surprised by the prices anymore.
You know what I want to see? I know this is an absolute wild shot. This is wild card. This is probably not happen. But every year we get back to the PGA Championship, and everyone talks about the one guy who's one career win away from a Grand Slam, Jordan Spieth.
Yeah,
and it's that week is here again. I just had to bring it up, So something we get to watch. He's won the Masters, won the U.S. Open. He was won the Open Championship. He is since 2017, man. And I know it's been, I guess, 9 years, but this is the week. So we get something to watch. So I love when, majors come around because there's so many storylines. I know Rory was apparently limping over the weekend in his last round. So that was a little worrisome for his PGA Championship round. And then I know Justin Rose you saw the McLaren irons?
Yeah.
He switched to McLaren irons. His last 2 weeks have been pretty awful.
Yeah,
for his standard.
Yeah. I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess he's been with them every step of the way, actually like building them and creating them. But
yeah,
even so, it just seems like a completely wild thing to do. Right when you're
playing some of the best golf too. Oh my gosh, I saw a clip. I guess it was an approach shot on some fairway, and he's like looking down at his club. He's like, I don't know. It's interesting time to make a switch like that for him, but we'll see what he does this week, if that changes the narrative at all. But let's move on, back to basketball, but on the different side of things. We went from talking about the greatest teams in the league to now we're going to talk about the bottom feeders, and it seems like the bottom feeders have been pretty consistent. And the one bottom feeder that has been down there for a while is the Washington Wizards, who just kind of accidentally found hope. They were awarded the number 1 pick in the NBA draft lottery, and I think this is a no-brainer pick for them. AJ DeBonsta. Talked about him all year. Talked about him down the stretch of March Madness. This is a guy that can change your franchise. We saw it the year before with Cooper Flagg. He's an NBA-ready guy. If they find a way to mess up this draft pick, I'm so sorry. I have a few buddies that are also Wizards fans. I am so sorry if they find a way to mess up this draft pick. I think it's perfect. I don't even know if Anthony Davis will be there next season because he's supposedly in trade talks. But you've got Trae Young. You got a little bit of scoring now. I just think it's a no-brainer. I don't know. No-brainer. I saw the Jazz with the 2nd pick, I believe. Grizzlies with the 3rd pick. The Nets, they tried their hardest to stay down there. They have a lot of young pieces on that team. Jordy Fernandez, they signed him to an extension. They just get so unlucky. Had the 3rd worst record in the league. They end up with the 6th pick. And they're going to miss out on their franchise guy, I believe, which this is the perfect year to get your franchise player, especially with all the young talent they had. They have a lot of first-round picks in the next few years. They got 5 from the Knicks, for God's sake. So they will find their guy. But felt like this could have been the year they can really turn around things and have some optimism coming out of Brooklyn. So
you never know. They can maybe get Wagler might still be around at 6. Maybe not. We'll see who takes who and who believes in who. All fun and games until the Wizards take Cameron Boozer for first overall.
If that happens, my goodness.
Honestly, maybe you know more about it than me. I thought I understood everything about the draft lottery. I don't understand this whole the Pacers got their pick taken away.
Well, that's on them.
How does that work? How do you get the pick taken away? Where does the pick go?
They traded it. Essentially, when they traded their first-round pick away to the Clippers, right? They traded Benedict.
So they were never going to have a first-round pick.
I think if the pick was in a lottery pick, if it wasn't a lottery pick, they would have had the pick or something like that. Don't quote me.
That's what I was so confused about. I understand that they traded the pick, but I just didn't understand how people were saying, "Oh, they lost it." Well, that's what I didn't. That's what I was confused about. What you're saying about if it's a certain, in the certain part of the draft, then they get awarded the pick or not. Okay, that makes sense, but. Yeah.
So the pick wasn't protected outside of the top 4. That's what it was. So if it was a top 4 pick, then the Pacers would have had it.
Wow.
They fell outside of the top 4.
Good.
And
you know what? Good.
They had.
I hate the Pacers. I'll say it. I hate as a Knicks fan. I can't stand Pacers, say Pistons, but yeah, it's too bad.
They had 19 wins this season, second worst record in the NBA, and they found a way to not have a first round pick. Not even just a lottery, no first round pick. I'm Tyrese Halliburton. I saw his tweet.
Yeah, we lost. What do you say? We lost?
Yeah, something like that. It was a meme. So they essentially, this is what happened. They essentially traded away their first round pick for Ivica Zubac. If I'm a Pacers fan, that is so disgusting. And now the Clippers actually get lucked out. They actually get a top 10 pick. We thought that pick was going to end up being the Thunder's first round pick. So good for them. Maybe they can turn it around, and don't know what's going to happen with Kawhi Leonard this offseason. But my goodness, the Pacers, that is disgusting. I think it's the first time in NBA history a team has won under 20 games and ended up not getting a first round pick in the next year's draft. So that is
brutal.
Nasty. They were on the top of the world about 7 months ago. Colts top of the playoff, or maybe I guess you could say last year, the Pacers in the finals win the Eastern Conference. I guess their women's basketball team, the Fever, had a solid year. The Colts, they were literally on the top of the world. Mm-hmm. It's been a very tough 6 months for the city of Indianapolis. So, I would not want to be in their position whatsoever. And then I don't know what's going to happen with the Grizzlies. I saw a clip from Stephen A. Smith over the weekend or over the past week. He talked about it. He said these young guys that are coming into the league are league ready and they're here to take your spot. What do you know? The Grizzlies now have the third pick in the NBA draft, right? Ja Morant, there was a moment in time where we were comparing him to guys like Anthony Edwards, right? And, he's a top 3-point guard in the league. He's a top 10 player in the league. A lot of off-the-court issues. You don't want to knock a guy down when he's already down, but clearly a lot of off-the-court issues. And he has not been able to be the same player that he was when he first came into the league. Has not improved, and it seemed like any facet of his game. Stephen A. Smith spoke about it. He was shooting 25% from three this year. As a guy who's, a team drafted you to be their franchise player, for you to not make any progress, with your game or your stats across the first 5 or 6 years of your career, it's worrisome. And it feels like the Grizzlies that have that second pick, their third pick, they're going to go and get a guy that they believe can be leader of their franchise. And now I wonder what's going to happen with Ja Morant. So the NBA draft it'll be drama. It'll be a little bit of drama. We'll see what happens, but we got a lot of time to worry about that. That Pacers stuff is just so nasty to me. But we're going to move it on to another sport. Another one of my favorite segments, our MLB Quick Hits of the week. The New York Yankees, they are 1-9 versus teams with a winning record. They got swept over the weekend by the Milwaukee Brewers. They ran into a real baseball team, as Rob likes to say, and they got absolutely humbled. So. I know you got a lot to say about this, Rob.
Honestly, I really don't. I don't really have much to say other than I told you so. I knew this was going to happen. I knew this. Everybody was so high and mighty about how the Yankees have been playing so good. It's like they were playing nobodies. Like the AL has been so weak, and these teams the Yankees were beating up on them, and yeah, it was cool, I guess. But I mean, you knew they were going to come back down to reality sooner or later. And to me, this is just a microcosm of what happens in the playoffs every single year, that they play good in the regular season. Maybe they win the division. Maybe they don't. Regardless, they get to the playoffs, they play better competition, and they fall flat on their face every single time. And the best opportunity they had 2 years ago, they blew that in the World Series. And I don't know if they'll ever get as good of a chance as they had that year again. But this is just to me, it was classic. This was so classic Yankees. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been saying it for a while now that the bullpen is probably the worst part of this team right now. And the bullpen blew every single game.
They really did. Right? They wasted an absolute amazing performance from Cam Slittler in the second game.
Yeah.
And then Fernando Cruz just did not have a good outing. Tim Hill, who's been amazing all year. He's been he's probably been the best guy out of that bullpen for the Yankees. Didn't have a great outing as well. Yeah, they just fell short on a Terang home run off of Bednar, who's been pretty solid out of the bullpen. They just to help complete their sweep.
Yeah, hitting looked good over the weekend too. 3 hits on the first game. I mean, like this is what I mean. Like,
hey,
and
there were some injuries going. I know Spencer Jones. I guess he had his debut. Got his first hit in that third game.
Boy, I don't know. I don't want to listen. He obviously just got up to the bigs, and he could turn into a great player. I'm worried about Spencer Jones, man. I just don't like how high his strikeout percentage is. To me, it's like the Yankees don't seem to care about that, and I'm sure a lot of other teams analytically don't care about strikeouts. And if you hit 50 home runs a year and you have enough RBIs, who cares about the strikeouts? To me, it's just like strikeouts, obviously the most unproductive out there is in baseball. He does it a lot, and it was the same thing over the weekend in his first series as a pro. There were a lot of strikeouts, and I just think that's very concerning. But, a lot of people don't care about that. So
Yankees struggled with runners in scoring position during this sweep, and that's been a telltale sign the last, I don't know how many years. Bullpen, the ERA skyrockets. Strikeout numbers also climbed, and this is the things we see against competent baseball teams. So hopefully they get back on the right foot. I know they play the Orioles and then the Subway Series this weekend at Citi Field.
Yeah,
playing against a Mets team that has been god awful, and somehow, some way, I believe they'll get at least one game off the Yankees this weekend. They will, just because of the history of this.
Maybe two. Maybe two.
That would be pretty disgusting, but it's very possible. And man.
You know who else has been struggling? Shohei Ohtani, but you would never know because nobody wants to talk about when Shohei struggles. God forbid we point out that Shohei hasn't been playing well. You're committing a crime if you do so. But Aaron Judge doesn't have a home run in 100 at bats, and the sky's falling, and Judge is washed. But Ohtani can do it because he pitches. Obviously, Ohtani didn't pitch for almost 2 years, and the glazing was still there. But Ohtani pitches once every 6 days, so when he hits the other 5 or 6 days out of the week, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he sucks. So
we talked about this the other day, me and Rob, and I tried to explain that there's a reason why people are so critical of Judge, and it's different with Shohei Ohtani. We're talking about New York, for God's sake. New York is miles past what LA is in terms of the media landscape and how many people are involved. There's Yankee fans everywhere you look. So anytime anything happens, Aaron Judge can sneeze and they'll talk about it. Shohei Ohtani, it's different. It's a different beast when you come play in New York. And this is why only the best of the best can come play in New York, because they're about it. The bright lights are on. Guys don't wake up. They don't make it happen when the lights are on. And this is why not everyone can play in New York City. And I salute Judge because I see it every single day. I salute him for what he goes through. And the media is just on him. They are on him. Anything he does, he doesn't perform in the playoffs, it's different. Shohei Ohtani is the MLB sweetheart. And I understand that because of how much revenue he brings in with his ties to Japan. And he is like they're Messi in Japan. And you look on the Jumbotrons, billboards everywhere in that city, it's Shohei Ohtani. But I don't know. Maybe it is some people are scared to criticize Shohei because we do have to remember this dude plays both sides of the baseball at a high level. And yes, he's not playing at a high level right now because, guys go on slumps. And like we've seen with Judge, they do talk about it when he's in a slump. But I don't know. The standards are a little differently. They are weirdly different. I think it's a little valid. I do think it's a little valid because he's playing both sides of the baseball. I genuinely think he could go down as one of the greatest, probably the greatest baseball player of all time.
Okay.
I'm a Yankees fan through and through. Like if it's not the Yankees, I barely watch MLB. I watch every single Yankee game every single night. But I'm telling you, this guy he's doing it great on both sides of the ball. So we got to give him a little bit of a pass because he two-time World Series winner now too.
Yeah, he barely showed up to the first one, but
I don't know.
Team backed him up just fine. But anyway, I don't know. To me, it's less about criticism as it is like, when Ohtani's doing his thing, it's literally every single post from the MLB. And I'm not saying like the MLB official account on any social media is going to actually point out a guy being in a slump. But it's just like all the media coverage in general. Like when Ohtani's doing good, it's like it's every single post you see about baseball.
I think it's valid,
like,
though.
oh, wow, like look how hard this pop-up was. Like we don't care. But it's just like stuff like that. It's just like the fact that there's just like no coverage of when he struggles is like it's just dumb to me because it's like even, in other sports, the best player, like you think about if like Mahomes goes into a little slump or, LeBron goes into a slump, like they're getting criticized no matter what. But it seems to be with Shohei, it's like, we can't open our mouths. But I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. But regardless, that's that. That's the MLB. I see you got some notes about the Giants season opener. I didn't even know they released that.
Just today.
Oh, damn.
My goodness. The Giants are opening their season at home Sunday night on NBC versus the Dallas Cowboys. What a test. What a start to John Harbaugh's Giants tenure on primetime at MetLife Stadium under the lights against a Cowboys team who I guess the Giants split with last year, but that first game of the season last year at AT&T in Dallas or in Arlington, where that game goes to overtime, back and forth. I mean, an absolute shootout. I feel like this is almost a test for Harbaugh. I won't say it'll define the whole season, but the New York media, we just talked about it. They will blow this game out of proportion. If the Giants win, they're back. The Giants lose, it's going to be the same old Giants. I can tell you right now what it is. However, we will see. Harbaugh has been absolutely taking this team under the wing, and he's got his whole identity over it. The Cowboys don't know what to expect out of them, but they went and drafted their guy in Caleb Downs, and man, we saw what happened. Malik Neighbors not happy the Giants didn't take Caleb Downs, and now that he has to face him twice a year, I just think this is picture perfect for the NFL to start the season, especially NBC, to open up the season. The last time the Giants opened up the season at home versus the Cowboys, Sunday Night Football, it was a massacre. That's all I remember. An absolute massacre. I think the Giants got shut out and got put 40 points up on them. Kick return touchdown to open up the game. Just absolutely abysmal. Yeah. And I think this time around it'll be a lot different. So can't wait to see how this new DC, new OC, new coaching staff, starts off their tenure. Will we see them flying around, or will we see the Cowboys continue to bully the Giants the way they have in the last decade or so? So just had to bring it up because it was released, I believe, this morning. Can't wait for that one. Can't wait for that matchup. But we're going to move into our favorite segment of the day. Favorite segment, About It, Not About It. Rob, kick us off.
Yeah, so my About It of the week is Skip Bayless. That guy, he's still got his fastball, folks. He still has his fastball, and he's got a damn good curve too. Pause. But he goes back on First Take this past Friday with Stephen A. And not even just Skip. The duo of them made me feel like a kid again. I literally felt like I was watching, old First Take for the first time in a while, and it felt so good to watch. But what I'll say about Skip is just like he hasn't missed a beat to come on air, and he sets the tone talking about how much Stephen A has meant to him and how he took over like that whole debate style. Then he passed it on to Stephen A, and then he just goes into the. But I've had to listen to him have all these takes, and then he comes out right away with a banger saying that he's got LeBron at 9 all time on his list, and he says it with such a straight face. Then he called playoff P.E.E. Paul George. He had a bunch of other great takes too, and just I don't know, man. It was so refreshing to see Skip, on ESPN. I think Shea Cornette, the host, she kind of made like a joke about like something about like, oh, if we'll see Skip again, and she like kind of like smirked when he said it or something. So I think he's gonna be around.
I would love to see it.
I think he should be a weekly thing. I think Stephen A. Has done that a few times where like it was like during NFL season he used to bring Michael Irvin on once a week. I think he should do that with Skip every Monday during the NFL season. It should be Skip and Stephen A. on Mondays. I think that would make for the best debates, the best TV. You throw Dan Orlovsky in there as like your true analyst. He's always great on television, but Skip Bayless, he's still got it, man.
Yeah, man. After Undisputed got canceled in, I think it was August of 2024. He hasn't been on TV like full time and daily time TV. So this would be awesome to see him get some more cameos on First Take. I mean, he is, like you said, it was nostalgic for me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just woke up like he's just angry just to talk about LeBron, man. Like sports media without Skip has been a little bit dead. And I will say podcast culture may have, added a little bit to that, but Skip, man, he understands engagement better than anybody in TV. And him and Stephen A, when they're together, both of them know how to play that character when the TV or when that camera's rolling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm truly one of the greatest trolls in sports TV history. So I'm gonna get into my about it of the week. Deuce McBride. Oh my goodness. The guy went for 25 points in 29 minutes yesterday, 7 of 9 from the three-point land. I believe he had 6 in the first quarter, or 6 in the first half, 5 in the first quarter. Absolutely stepped up in these last 2 games once OG Anunoby went down. I mean, the guy averaged 2 points in his rookie season, shooting 25% from 3. After that season, he went to Ray Allen to fix his shot, right? He went straight to the source, studied the shot, studied the release. You notice how Deuce McBride shoots with such a high arc and as well a high release above his head. Now he's shooting 41% from 3. I mean, talk about a stark difference that is. That is a 16% difference in three-point percentage. The bench scoring efficiency just rises with him. We saw once he went down this year and he had to get that core muscle surgery, the Knicks started playing a little more iffy. As soon as they get him back, the defensive integrity, like the defense just intensity has just been amazing. His offensive scoring, I mean, he did struggle for a little bit in that Hawks series and beginning of the Sixers series, but for him to come out there and really just silence that Sixers crowd, took them right out of it, punched them. The MSG loves a hustle guy, and this guy embodies, I feel like, the New York culture, New York sports culture in a sense. Mm-hmm. About it on both sides of the floor. What a guy, man. He truly... Every winning team needs a guy like Deuce McBride, and he changes the game without even needing like the touches that certain guys like Jalen Brunson might need. Like there was a stretch there in that game where I think it was Brunson absolutely crossed up Dominic Barlow. He had him going every single direction. It was ridiculous. Then he had to scoop lay on the other side of the rim. And then you see Embiid tries to get the ball in quick. Deuce gets the tip. Tip ball goes to Mikal Bridges. Mikal gets it to Brunson, hits the 3. Knicks go up 29. Plays like that are the little things that help teams win. And Deuce McBride finds his way in his position in games like that all the time. Him, Alvarado, Clarkson, those guys always get their hand in the passing lane. If he's doing that on the offensive side as well, where he's scoring efficiently like that, a guy that we can trust to shoot the ball in the corner.
Yeah, and at his size too, he's one of the better defenders in I think all of the NBA.
Yeah,
when he's a lockdown at times, especially on like any guard. I think he did a great job with Maxey. This series, like you said, when OG went down and he had to step up and he guarded Maxey a lot. I think he did a great job with him. It was awesome. And then I think at one of the threes, it was Brunson was wide open and he could have taken the 3.
Could have taken it.
He dished it to McBride. He knew he was hot. Really cool moment.
Another thing about Deuce McBride, he's 6'2" or 6'3", I believe, and he's got basically a 6'9" wingspan. People don't even talk about that, but that is insane. He was also an incredible quarterback in high school, so shout out to him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
West Virginia product, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. They got some good hoopers at West Virginia. Well, used to have some good hoopers. I feel like they haven't been good in a while.
But not about it.
Not about it. We're gonna stick with the Knicks series here, but on the flip side of things, the Sixers fans letting the Knicks make it a home series, not just having home games. The Knicks had a home series. It never felt like the Knicks were on the road in games 3 and 4. Game 4 was basically just MSG in a different location. Really, really piss poor from Sixers fans to allow that to happen, regardless of the series score. Even if you're down 3-0, up 3-0, like you got to show out. I know James touched on how the Flyers fans showed out for their team. Like where were the Sixers fans? If there was ever a time where they needed their fans there the most. It was these two games 3 and 4. They probably could have used a little something from the crowd. I saw Tyrese Maxey say that it sucked that they basically had no fans there, and it felt like, an away game while playing at home. And if you got your own players saying that, actually saying, yeah, it sucked, or, because sometimes they can just brush it off and say, we have the best fans in the world. We got to do better, and we got to win those games. Like, you could tell they were upset at the fact that the Sixers fans let Knicks fans take over.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this a while. I can't speak on the Flyers because I do know they are a dedicated fan base, but maybe they aren't. I can say this about the whole city of Philadelphia in terms of their sports teams, and they are fair weather fans. A lot of people are not going to like that, but they're there when their teams are playing amazing. You see the Eagles fans, they go crazy, but when the teams are not, they're not. And it's completely different with the Knicks and completely different with New York sports. Giants, been a bottom feeder of the NFL for how many years? I was at their home opener this past year.
Probably about 7 now? 7 years?
Yeah. I went to that Chiefs-Giants game, packed. Amazing. Atmosphere was still great. Giants ended the season with, I believe, 5 wins? The Eagles can go on for 5 wins. It wouldn't be the same vibe. The Sixers can be a bottom feeder of the league. They wouldn't sell out games. I saw a tweet that I had to bring up from @the6man on X. He said the year is 2012. The Knicks are down 3-0 in the second round, I believe, of the playoffs. Maybe the first round. Versus the NBA Finals champions from the year before. And it's featuring the big three, LeBron, Chris Bosh, D-Wade. They lost game 1, lost game 2, lost game 3 by a combined deficit of 60 points. Pretty similar to what the Knicks and the Sixers were, the same situation yesterday. Knicks fans absolutely showed up in that game. I wish I could show the clip, but the Knicks fans sold out the arena. Did not let Miami Heat fans come in there. Did not let LeBron fans come in there. The atmosphere was ridiculous. And I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear excuses for Philly fans. It's 2 hours away, or no, you're just a fair weather fan base. It's that simple. And we've seen it over the years, the way you guys talk about your players. The Knicks had guys like Alonzo Trier, like I said before, Lance Thomas, Ignaz Brazdeikis, Andrea Bargnani. The list goes on and on and on and on. And they were still selling out games. It's different. It's a different beast with New York. And it's been that way since the 70s, the 60s. I can go on and on. Yankees are the ones that started that, right? And it's spread. It's like a viral infection. It's infectious. From the Yankees, they pass it down to the Rangers, then to the Knicks. And now it's everywhere in the sports town. The Jets, the Giants, every single team, the fan bases are ludicrous. They are crazy. I don't know, man. You saw the way Maxey was talking about, it's tough. It's tough playing in an environment at home that doesn't feel like you're at home. Atmosphere full of blue and orange jerseys. I mean, they were passing around pictures of Mitchell Robinson dunking on Embiid, for God's sake. He's taking free throws in his own arena, and there's a section of fans holding up a picture of him getting dunked on behind the hoop. Pretty pathetic from Sixers fans. Got completely outworked. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, really. There's not much else to it. You got to show out for your team, regardless of the series score. And that's what makes New York fans probably the best fans in the world.
Yeah.
No doubt. I don't think, I don't know. The Champions League final is set. That wasn't set
Final
last
is
week,
set.
right?
Yeah, we saw Arsenal go on.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Atletico Madrid at home. Pretty controversial game. There's some maybe uncalled penalties because you know how penalties are in the Champions League. The littlest bit of touch, you go down to penalty. And a lot of people think there were some that could have been called that weren't. And I don't know. But Arsenal back to the Champions League final for the first time in 22 years. They have never won it. They've played the most championship matches, and out of any club to never win the Champions League. I believe it's like 226 matches. PSG look to run it back. They look truly unstoppable. Gunner fans, I don't even know what to expect from this game. It's going to be a true test for Arsenal. So, yeah.
Is that just one game, the final?
One game in Budapest. So, neutral site.
Why do they play 2 weeks from now? What's up? Like 3 weeks, actually.
Yeah, the finals always set.
That's crazy.
Because I guess the rest of the season is wrapping. Their league titles are wrapping up. So,
damn.
Pretty insane stretch of games for Arsenal down the stretch.
Arsenal gets it done.
They get it done. London might blow up. It's like Arsenal is essentially like the Knicks in London. Like,
oh wow,
they haven't won the league in 20 something years. They haven't won the Champions League. They go out there and win it. If they win both of those, London is going to be on watch. That's what I will say. But let's move it on to our weekend, I guess you can say.
Yeah, a lot of people have been asking us to just talk about like things other than sports, and we try to. We just try not to force it or just bring up like random stuff. But maybe that's what we're gonna just start doing, just bringing up things that we observe as we go through life. And the first thing I wanted to address that happened over this weekend, James and I went into the city for one of our boys' birthday, and we were at a bar for the Knicks game, and I saw a drink that it sounded really good. I saw tequila, guava, and passion fruit juice. Drink responsibly, folks. And I stopped reading what was in the rest of the drink from there. I was like, it sounds good enough to me. I'm a tequila guy, so I ordered it, and James said, you know what, make it two. And the waiter comes with a tray of drinks because there were other people at the table with us. And I see a drink in a pouch. And we'll throw it up on the screen in post-production. But, I mean, this drink came in a pouch. And it had boba in it. And before I even took a sip, I was like, yo, why is this straw so fat? And sure enough, I took a sip and a freaking boba just hit me in the back of the throat. Pause again. And just nuts. Like, again, we'll throw it up on the screen. It's ridiculous what this drink came in. And to me, it's like, you have to put a disclaimer of what the drink is going to look like, or the waiter has to give you waitress, whatever, has to give you a heads up that, hey, you're about to get a drink that's going to make you look like a little bitch, to be honest. Like, I'll just say it. Like, there's no two ways around that. Like, as a grown man, I should not be holding a juice pouch like I'm drinking a Capri Sun at a bar. Yeah. Like if I was on a date and I ordered that and that came, I would tweak out. I'd literally have to tell them, send that back. I'm not drinking that.
No, when this drink came to the table, man, I'm looking like, this is not what's going on right now, right?
I'm looking at it right now.
I could not believe what was going on. And then you look at us, we're the ones sitting there sipping the fruity drink.
Gosh,
and it's
bro, it was so bad. It was so bad.
But I will say it tasted great.
It did taste
outside
good.
Of the boba.
Yeah, the boba is a weak addition to the drink. Yeah, I'm not a boba guy.
Sitting there sipping up balls of tapioca on a straw. I don't know. That's just me. Some people like it.
Oh, bugging, man.
It kind of just ruins the drink in a sense for me. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But it was a solid drink. Pretty solid tasting.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, I saw tequila, guava, and passion fruit. I said, you know what? That sounds good to me. But, another thing that happened at that same bar, James and I had ordered some food because we went into the city. We had to get some dinner. And there were a couple of girls at the table with us. And one thing I can't stand is when a girl just won't eat in front of guys. Like, I don't get it. Like, why do you have to like try to act all prim and proper? Like, just eat. Like, we know that we know that you have to eat at the end of the day. Just show your true colors. Like, I got asked if I was going to eat the last wing on a plate. And I was like, no, go ahead. If you want it, you can take it. Like, I had plenty up to that point. And then she was like, actually, you know what? No, like I'm not going to take it from you. I was like, no, I don't want it. Like, you can go ahead and have it. I was like, clearly you want it if you asked about it. And let's just say I ended up eating the wing because she literally refused to have the last chicken wing. I don't know if she didn't want to get her hands dirty. I don't know what it was, but sure enough, we go to the next bar. Me and James step away for 5 minutes, and there's an order of nachos coming to the table. So I don't know, man. I can't stand when girls just like they gotta act like they don't eat. Like, you're a human being too. Eat in front of me. Show your true colors.
Yeah, man. Eat your thing, man. Do your thing. Like, eat that food. That's all I'm gonna say. Eat that food, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, great weekend. A lot of fun. I got a question for you though. What is an acceptable ice cream order for a guy when you go on a date? Let's say you go on an ice cream date, right? Rob's been on a few ice cream dates himself. Yeah, I've definitely been on one or two.
Yeah.
You go on an ice cream date. What is acceptable?
Well, should I start by saying what's not acceptable is the bullshit we heard this past weekend, where a girl told us that I think was her friend went on a date, or it wasn't her, right?
I don't know.
I think it was her friend went on a date with some guy, and he ordered on a date cotton candy ice cream with vanilla and like Oreo and rainbow sprinkles. I don't know how as a man you could ever order that. I don't know. I'm just cotton candy, man. I just think of like that pink and blue ice cream and sprinkles. Yeah, I don't know. That is what I would say is an unacceptable ice cream order. I feel like you have to go with a solid flavor or like a milkshake. Depending on where you are. I don't know. Like if you go to like a Cold Stone, you know you're going to get something that's all mixed up.
See, yeah, I mean, I keep it simple. I'm not going to throw in 1,000 colors and flavors. You know, it'll be on the simpler side. The milkshake will probably do, you know, few scoops of vanilla, whatever it is. You know, I will say there are some solid, not cake batter. I forgot what it's called, but that is solid. But that's cutting it pretty close. But you ever like seen those videos where like guys will go like to get ice cream with their girlfriend and then like as she orders,
oh yeah, they're like, oh no, we're good.
Anything.
Yeah,
and they lose their mind. I actually do want to try that one day, but it probably won't happen anytime soon. Those
guys got some good discipline. If I actually drove to like an ice cream shop and my girl's getting something, like I'm gonna order something too. Like just get the ice cream. Like no matter how fit you want to be, if that's what it boils down to. I don't know. I feel like once you get me in an ice cream shop, like just the smell of everything, like whether it be like waffle cones or the ice cream itself, how do you turn that down? I don't know. It couldn't be me. Couldn't be me, man.
That's that's what I'm saying. Some of those things in there, there's some amazing flavors. I do want to bring up one thing. This is a side note from what we were talking about, completely different. But one of my good friends from college, Gabby Cooper, my homie, in October she was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and she's battling out. One of the toughest girls I've ever met in my life. If I could not be any more serious about this, I coached her in club basketball. She is an absolute dog. The hoodie I'm wearing right now is all hers. She created it. It still stands for she's still thriving, right? Still living, still becoming I guess a badass, and in a sense her life has become still. And she had this idea of creating this amazing hoodie, and on the back of it actually says, I believe for those days, I think let's turn around and let's read it out here. I think it says made for days that ask a lot on the back of the hood.
Made for the days that ask a lot.
Made for the days that ask for a lot. Yeah. Absolutely amazing message. I think the hoodie's awesome, but I just wanted to shout it out. Shout out Gabby. Know you're a trooper. Keep pushing, girl. You got my support over here, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Gabby. Gonna throw the link for the hoodie in the description for anybody who wants to tap in with it. But just wanted to shout you out, Gib. That's all for me. Do we want to get into our favorite sports movies? We got like 6 minutes here.
I feel like we should just still save it for another episode. I know I said that like
we're pushing it back.
Because I think it's gonna hit like in the middle of the summer. I think that's like a great time for a discussion like that, especially based off. I already have my answer ready to go. I think a debate like that will hit great in the middle of the summer. So I think we leave that for another episode.
The dog days officially start.
Yeah, once the dog days are really in session, I think that'll be a good debate that people will want to hear about. So we'll leave it for then. But that's all for me. I got nothing else.
Got nothing else either, man. Guys, we appreciate you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Hillside Club. Great content coming out, more golf content coming out. We're going to try and get way more videos out this week. We appreciate all the engagement. Seriously, man. Like it's been a great journey to start.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep pushing. Pushing. A lot more content to come. Merch on the horizon as well. You guys see Rob's shirt right now.
Sir. There.
Pretty cool.
We're going to try to get you guys some merch potentially. Maybe a 999 challenge coming your way soon too. We might have to try to do, especially with the, like I said, Mets tickets being, $5. We could put all the money towards the actual food and drinks that we'd have to buy. We could just see James just sling down glizzies, just absolutely.
What the hell is going on here?
The glizzy gobbler himself.
Timeout. Pause.
No,
Everything.
Resume.
No.
Literally just resume.
Hell nah.
Unless our producer Oscar in the back knows that you love a hot dog too, so it's fine.
I love a hot dog at a baseball game. Why are we revisiting this? All right, Glizzy's a crazy way to. It's a crazy way to. You know what? Let's move on from that. Come on.
I think that'd be. Listen, if you would you guys want to see that? If you guys would do it, throw it in the comments. That you guys would definitely want to see that. I think it'd be great content. I really do. But we'll see. Nonetheless, that's this week's edition of the Hillside Club. I'm Rob Cardini.
James Martin III.
Shout out producer Skur in the back. Thank you guys. See you next week.
Thanks for watching. Peace.